Hey garden friends, AJ here. So I've been putting off this task in building this trellis, okay, that's supposed to go in the second part of the garden. Well, actually it's a divider for the second half of the garden. And I already put up 2 fences, 3.5 foot tall fences. You guys remember where I have the blue bench. So I have the blue bench out there. That's pretty much part of the partition for the second half of the yard. And I had planned on building a trellis. Well, actually, I bought a trellis offline, but I was gonna put it together, and I've been procrastinating this job for the longest. I'd say about 4 months now. So I'm gonna go ahead and build this trellis. I'll show you some pictures of it. And I'm gonna actually have to put the trellis in first, in place. I'm gonna have to put the trellis in place first, and then follow up with laying the pavers at the base and around the trellis. Let me show you guys real quick what I'm talking about. So here's the area I'm talking about. In so many words, I was trying to describe the area I was talking about. So this right here, where I have my 5 roll doll roses, actually looks like that one right there is having some issues. So don't you guys think an arbor will look really nice right here? This is where I intend on putting that arbor. Clearly I'm gonna move the bench out, dig my holes for the posts, and looks like I'm gonna have to trim back some of these branches, these low-hanging branches in that vicinity, just so that once that arbor is put in, it could kind of frame the view beyond these 2 trees, these 2 Nellie Stevens hollies. So that's the plan. So in installing this arbor, my intent is to create a sense of mystery and a very nice accent, which will delineate the front side of this rear garden to the back side beyond. Here's some of the roll doll blooms right here. These are David Austin roses. They get to be about 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. And eventually I'd like them to touch. So they've been pruned twice so far for this season. So this is after their second prune. And because back here, even though it does get full sun, it's not, I don't think it's a full 8 to 10 hours. It might be in the vicinity of, I don't know, probably 6 to 8 hours of sun that I might get back here. So what I'm saying is it affects the growth habit of these roses. As you can tell, they tend to arch towards the sun. Their habit, their growth habit. See that? So eventually, once this arbor goes in, I'm gonna put, I have a Zephyrin Druin rose. I'll throw a picture on the screen. I'm gonna plant it either at the base right here or probably beyond the fence, maybe behind the fence. I'll plant the Zephyrin Druin rose either there or over there. And eventually it'll trail its way up and over the arbor and come down to this side of this fence. I think it'll be a beautiful look. Actually, here is the rose that I'm speaking of right here. Doesn't look to be in the best health right now, but the root ball's still good. It's still leafing out. I've pruned it. There's some dead right here that I'm gonna have to take out. So it's got one solid good cane right here that's producing this growth. Okay, it still has new growth coming out, so I know it's still a healthy rose. It just needs to be planted. And right here is where it stops, because this right here is very dark, which means it's probably dead wood. So I'll go ahead and cut that out. It has borers. So it was really hard to find this Zephyrin Druin rose. I think I have a, do I have a picture? I thought I had a picture. Here's how you spell it. And hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. It's Zephyrin Druin. Well, actually, here's a tag right here. So here are some of the specs on the Zephyrin Druin rose. It gets to be 10 to 15 feet tall. So that'll be sufficient length for it to be planted on one side of the fence where I just showed you guys, and up 10 feet over the arch, and then down the other 10 feet. So that should be a nice reach and spread for this beautiful rose. Well, here's a quick update on the Hot Lips turtle head. They are blooming, but it's been a very rough summer, I gotta say. We've had some very intense heat, but I'm just happy that every last one of them are blooming. So that's a good sign, and it just tells me that even though they may look a little beat up, like right here, they're still relatively healthy, and they will multiply. And here are all the Brunnera. They're not looking all that great. I mean, like I said, it was a relatively hot and dry summer. But I mean, they're still relatively healthy. They've got green, fresh green growth. So that's this little area right here. Here's a quick update on, I guess I'll go ahead and put the link to the video I'm referring to. I shot it last fall. Most of the shrubs are doing relatively well. Like I said, it's been a pretty hot summer, so you know, they did suffer a little bit of a burn. I did end up losing one of my little lime hydrangeas right here. So I initially had 1, 2, and 3, and I lost that one. I have to pull that out. Here's the beauty berry, or the, I guess you call it, I guess it's the beauty berry or the beauty bush or something like that. It has the beautiful purple berries right here. These get to be about 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. So there's the second one over there. That's going to be a nice look in front of the chartreuse foliage of this Japanese maple. All right, so we just got a little rained on, a little sprinkle. Let's pick this back up, shall we? So one thing I'm noticing is that I don't see an installation guide in here. So I have to look online as to what goes what goes where. I'm still floored. There's no installation guide. Like, what the hell? Thankful for the internet. Just go online and you can find the instructions on there. All right, I'm about to blow you guys away. Not only is there not an instruction guide, I don't have all the hardware. Where's all the hardware? This is crazy. See, friends, that's why it's good to review everything that you receive, do an inventory on everything you receive, because you might go ahead and jumpstart the project and don't even have all the materials, the hardware. I mean, the hardware of all things. At least with the instructions, I can get that online, but the hardware, I mean, some of this I can actually improvise, but why? Why improvise? Get the hardware. So I'm gonna postpone this video. Actually, I can go ahead and post this. They're not gonna like that. I'm gonna postpone the video, and once I get the hardware and the instruction booklet, we'll pick up where I left off at. All right, friends, see you in the next video.